Okay, I can confirm live stream. 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 Okay, Harry, confirm live stream. Okay, so this is going to be a display for outside. Okay, Harry, confirm live stream. Okay, so a number of people. This is going to be a display for outside. Okay, Harry, confirm live stream. Okay, so a number of people. Probably is going to be a display for outside screen. Okay, Harry, confirm live stream. Okay, so a number of people. Probably is going to be a display for outside screen. Okay, Harry, okay, so a number of people. Probably is going to be a display for outside screen. Okay, Harry, okay, so a number of people. Probably is going to be a display for outside screen. Okay, Harry, okay, so a number of people. Also, is going to be a display for outside each one of these. Okay, Harry, okay, so a number of people. Also, is going to be a display for outside each one of these. This okay, Harry, okay, so a number of people. Also, is going to be a display for outside each one of these. This okay, Harry, okay, so a number of people. Also, is going to be a display for outside each one of these. This okay, Harry, okay, so a number of people. Also, is going to be a display for outside each one of these. This okay, Harry, okay, so a number of people. Also, is going to be a display for outside each one of these. This okay, Harry, okay, so a number of people. Also, is going to be a display for outside each one of these. This okay, Harry, okay, so a number of people. Also, is going to be a display for outside each one of these. This okay, Harry, okay, so a number of people. That one. Has that reduced the echo at all? There is a lot of delay, isn't there? Yeah, so what we'll end up with is something that's about 2 more of these links longer and too high. depending on how things go, I might order another 10 of these modules in and go 4 high and see how that looks. So it was coming from your microphone. Yeah, so I've heated up a soldering iron ready, and I'm going to remove one of these. I use a solder sucker. Normally I have this camera up a bit higher so you can see more, but I haven't got it up high at the moment because I've been narrowing in to get a better view of some small components. This is being difficult. Try wetting the tip a bit. That one just doesn't want to come out. That one was easy. So the audio is better now. Okay. I suppose I can try and make a bit of a difference in the program. What have I got? This is animations. Alright, this goes through a series of animations. So that'll go through and update shortly. And one of the animations has a new logo in it. Might add it into another one. How do you like that one, Harry? I should say down under. Where I don't see any sick, I'll have to get a cloth to clean up the vomit if there's some there. I think by the time I have all of the modules connected, I'm going to need another power supply. The one I'm using at the moment is just the USB, and I don't think it'll be even close. Okay, I've managed to clean all the holes out. So now we can get a little bit of wire. I don't know. I might move this chat up the other end so I can actually see it. Since you were here last down under, I've had a little rearrangement of my work area. So I've got a nice cleaner desk to work on, a little bit more room for my monitors. So the program that I'm using to run this, it's running on this Arduino Nano at the moment. And it's actually involves a library. I'm just running off the example code at the moment. It's actually quite impressive, the example code. So I should be able to come up with something pretty good for a Christmas display. There's example codes for running 2 rows. So with a bit of luck I'll be able to fire up, run 2 rows and have Merry Christmas and the like scrolling across. Up, down, left, right, and it also supports sprites. Now sprites are a graphical image, and we can actually use the sprites to make up a picture of like a Santa sleigh and have it run across the screen or across the display. So that should be interesting. Be able to do something similar for Christmas. So before I try and poke these wires through and solder them in, I'm going to tin them first. And I've just recently put the smallest tip I've got in my soldering iron because I've been working on surface mount gear. And these surface mount chips are really fun to try and solder, particularly if you've got a very big soldering iron. Luckily my soldering station has hot air and I can actually run, I think it's about 230 degrees C of hot air, and it actually melts the solder. So we poke the wires in. a solder dag on the end. Stopping me from poking the wire through. That's better. When you've got fat fingers, sometimes you need to use tweezers just to handle the small wires. Where's this picture in Steam now? I don't know, I've never tried to make graphics like that. I really don't do much in the way of graphics because I've never really been good at graphics. I just want to put this under the microscope. Unfortunately, you're not going to be able to see this. Oh yeah, that's all right. Can I make a PC that will run GTA 5? You can actually buy ready-made PCs that will run it. Like the PC I run, that I'm streaming from at the moment, will run GTA 5. And it was less than $1,000. But I did pick it up on special. You can design and build your own PC. It's not really that hard. The hardest part is deciding what parts you want to spend the money on now, what parts you're prepared to wait to get better ones and just go with smaller ones. I would suggest the things you need the most are memory, a really good video card, and probably run with 2 drives, a solid state drive to give you high performance and a standard drive to store all your data on. The one I bought as a system, pre-configured, pre-built, from Centacom in Bendigo. They have branches in a few places now throughout Melbourne. I think it cost me around about the $800 mark when I bought it. It came with a reasonably good video card, not the top of the range, but a reasonable one. It's an NVIDIA, so it's got a good GPU on it. It came with 8 gig of RAM and a standard 1TB hard drive. Now I've since upgraded the memory to 32 gig, and I've also added a solid state drive that I had on hand into it. The biggest improvement on performance came from the solid state drive. The just standalone improvement. The extra memory makes a difference when you've got a lot of programs open at once. Like if I've got OBS Studio and I've got the multiple web pages. I've also got Slack running in the background, and I've got multiple copies of Arduino IDE running as well. So you're running an NVIDIA GT710 GeForce. So it's a video card that's built onto the motherboard, looking at that. Is that a slimline PC? It would probably be alright to run GTA, but if I had a choice, I'd want to have a separate video card from the motherboard. Worst case scenario, if your video card dies, there's usually an integrated video card on the motherboards anyway, and you can just pull the card and drop back to that one. These are the cutters that came with my new printer, and they're very sharp. You've got to be very careful when you're stripping these wires. These are very thin wires, being a ribbon cable, and it cuts them really, really easy. Now I've got one end soldered in, I really don't want to cut the wire short. I wouldn't have thought you'd have been able to get GTA 5. Not at your age anyway. Last time I checked, GTA 5 was R-rated. Okay. Turning off the Arduino. Just unplug that. I could do that, but I've just turned the power off to it and literally unplugged the display module from the rest of the Arduino. Incidentally, my subscriptions has been increasing of recent, although it's not saying where. Oh yeah, I've got 36 subscribers now. So I was at 35. Most of my subscribers, I think, are coming from videos other than Dio, although Dio is one of the most popular videos I've had. But my view hours are starting to climb, which is good. Okay. Problem with the very small tip on this is it cools down a lot when I first start soldering until it actually compensates. It takes time for it to compensate. So the first joint's okay, the next joint's not so good because the iron's running a bit cool, and then it compensates and it heats up well for the remainder of the joints. Now there is a right and a way to put these in. If you put them in the wrong way round, I think you get smoke instead of a nice bright display. Now once I've finished putting all this back together, I've got to modify the program anyway. There we go. And I need to make sure I get all these little clippings out of the way because there's nothing to stop it from shorting underneath. Okay, turn the power back on. Move this out of the way. I am going to have to lift this up. Pitch is going to get shaky for a minute. Excellent, it's almost to the edge of the table. Yes, I did hear you had GTA on Steam. I didn't see it. It was actually reported to me. Now, where is my programming gone? Here it is. So now I need to change 12. I've got 16 modules on there now. And we'll see how this looks as soon as I get it to compile and upload. Yeah, somewhere I thought I had. There we go. So I'm going to have, add the next module on, and I'm going to have to mount this to a board. I have actually found a board. It's a bit bigger than I had initially intended, but the idea is that I can expand on it. Shouldn't be a problem with the live stream. No, I am better. It shouldn't be a problem to stream live on Christmas Day or when the family goes over. I have had my face on YouTube once or twice before when I was doing unboxings. Mostly it's the side of me that you see. We probably... Actually, I thought you guys were coming over here. I know my wife is working Christmas Day and Boxing Day, so it'll probably be closer to New Year's when we catch up. And I will try and catch your stream. Depends on if I'm home or not. If I'm home, I'll try and catch a stream. Did you see the video I uploaded on Friday on solid state relays? I had this nice little unit turn up in the mail the other day, so I took advantage of it and did a video on solid state relays and why you'd use them, particularly for heating. I've actually got a new heater for my new printer. The new printer takes 22 minutes to heat the bed up before it'll start printing, and that's only going to 65 degrees C. If I want to go hotter than that, yeah, that'll be a long way away. Next Thursday and Friday streaming. Well, I don't get home until 4ish, so it'll have to be after that, and it depends on when we go shopping. And I won't know that. You finish school Wednesday. You lucky mongrel. I don't finish until Tuesday before Christmas. And then I'm off until New Year's. I think it's New Year's, yeah. Yeah, so I get the Wednesday, the Thursday and the Friday off. Friday's an annual leave day, and then I've got the 2 days before New Year's Day. And I think Fiona's working most of those. I think I might have to change the tip on my soldering iron back to one that's bigger, just so I can get the heat transfer. I'm just not quite getting enough heat transfer to pull these pins out properly. Yeah, I might do a vid while I'm over there. I'll bring my GoPro with me. I actually use a combination of my GoPro and my phone to do my video recording. And when I'm doing videos like this one, I use a webcam. The webcam I use is actually a Microsoft Live Studio. I actually did a review on it. That's annoying. I'm up to about 15.5 a month at the moment in watch hours. Oh, I've just done that again. I might have low subscriptions, but I'm getting my hours up. I'm getting a lot of views on my first DO robot video. And I've had a few on the second one. The other one that's surprising is the number of views I've had on the thermal imaging camera. That one's been doing very well. Keep in mind, gaming videos always, or gaming channels always get more view out or watch hours because it's more of an engaging type media. Educational ones like this one generally don't do too well on hours by comparison. But having said that, one of ours, when we have a break, tend not to suffer as rapidly as a gaming channel. Yeah, I'm thinking the same. When I hit 1,000 subscribers and 4,000 hours. The good news is my hours of viewing is actually about 4 times that of my viewer numbers or subscriber numbers. So I should hit about the same time on both. At the current rate of growth, I'm probably another 2 years away from that, I think. 2 to 3 years. 320, 330. It's a nice fast heating soldering iron, this one, when you've got the right size tip in. So with the other one, you can see the difference in the tips. And that small tip has a very small area for the heat to transfer through. As a result, when I start to draw on it pretty heavily, like when I'm desoldering, I lose heat very rapidly to start with, and that's making the desoldering a lot harder. And that also risks damaging the board. Yeah, Python's actually quite easy to use. You use a computer and a keyboard and write text. Just make sure you put the text in the right order with the appropriate spacings, etc., and you'll be laughing. There's a couple of really good tutorials on Python. Python's used as a sub-language within the MyRobotLab environment, which is why I learnt it. Well worth learning Python. It's probably not the best language in the world to learn, but it is very universal, especially if you want to get into machine learning. It's very prominent in the machine learning. So you learnt Python this time. It's a very good one to learn. You've got a GPU. If you've got CUDA cores in your GPU on your video card, you can do machine learning. And some of the latest machine learning is actually quite remarkable. From a gaming perspective, they've actually got machine learning to play games like StarCraft and Warcraft and the like, and are winning. There's a few competitions with prizes available too if you're interested in learning machine learning with Python. I'll just move that back a little bit. If you go to www.myrobotlab.org, you'll find the MyRobotLab environment. It runs on Java. So you install Java on your computer, download the myrobotlab.jar file, and then you execute the command line java space -jar space myrobotlab.jar, and it will launch MyRobotLab. Within MyRobotLab you can run Python and have it execute commands like speak or listen using WebKit. And no, I haven't finished R2 yet. I have finished welding the new dome together. I had to reprint the dome because I broke it again. Round about the same places we broke it last time, but worse. So I've thought it's a weak spot, and so I reprinted it. I've now re-welded it. In fact, I'll just grab it. Yeah, it's a fairly big project, this one. So yeah, this is the dome as it stands now. It's all welded up. It needs sanding and then painting. The Java you have for modding Minecraft should work for MyRobotLab as well. MyRobotLab is the program I use for running Fred. Much faster with a bigger tip. But the bigger tip is just no good for surface mount components. Getting the rest of R2 out of where I've got him stashed away at the moment is going to be a little bit more tricky. Got a lot more work to do on R2-D2 to make him operational. Have you seen DO? Let me get these wires soldered into the board and I'll grab DO up and you can see him, he actually works. And I'm in the process of doing videos on him. I've got a new one going up on Friday of the components I've used to bring him to life and how I've wired them all together and the libraries that I'm using in the IDE environment. If you start playing with Arduinos, like this little Nano for example, you'll need to learn C and C++. hanger on. Right, let me just grab Dio and just make a little bit more room here, because Dio he's a much smaller robot, but he has still got some size to him. Let me put him on the floor over here. So that's Dio. I have actually got a video up of him running around when we had the Inglewood Alive Festival on. So well worth going having a look at that. My desk's always a mess, it's just the amount of mess that varies. I do sometimes get it clean. That's better. Just turn Dio off. So yeah, on Friday I've got a video uploading on the electronics for Dio, and then the week after that I'm not sure what I'm doing yet, but I am working on the programming of Dio. After I finish that one, I'll probably start looking at doing an upgrade to Dio. I managed to acquire a number of inertial measurement units, IMUs. So the plan is to put an IMU in Dio to help steady the head, so he works a little bit better. When he starts to take off, his head, as he starts to go forward, his head moves back quite a bit. So the plan is to put an inertial measurement unit in there, and as he starts to take off and the head moves back, it'll move the head forward again to keep it reasonably stable. And that should hopefully improve the way Dio operates. I might just lift that up a bit further again. Actually, what is the date? Okay, so next week, yes I am. I start at 7 in the morning, both days. But I leave here before then. I have no idea what Fiona's working. Being a nurse, her hours vary so much I can't keep track of it anymore. Speaking of which, she's due home any time now. And that will be when I end the stream. Yeah, no, I'll miss those streams. I'll be at work until at least 3:30. I won't get home until 4ish. A little after, depending on what goes on and whether I get delayed leaving work. Matthew's down in his room doing whatever it is Matthew's doing. I think he's watching a movie. And that would be Fiona home. So I'll catch you later.
There you go.
See you later.